Timestamp. It is November 25th, 2025. Man, this year's flying. 1 p.m. Did I wake you? Sorry, Acorn. I slept like 10 hours. I slept like 10 hours last night. I got up about an hour ago. Maybe 2 hours ago, I had a conversation with my girl via text. Waiting for some paperwork from the lawyer, which being very slow getting here, which is not necessarily great. It's financial stuff I got to get done for the court. Oh, that's cold on my arm. There's some certain things that I have to turn in to prove that I haven't done anything shifty with their finances. Basically, it's a, what do they call it? It's like a ward, because my dad is considered my ward, which is still weird. Asset evaluation or something like that. Goes in with the guardianship proposal plan, basically saying this is what he had, this is what he still has, and this is where people can get in trouble when they go out and buy a new car or something like that, because it's been done. Hi. The only thing that can I get through? Thanks. Acorn, appreciate that. You guys just went out like 30 minutes ago. Don't even try it. I know, because I was there. Oh, having some the Starbucks medium breakfast blend. I've already had half a cup. It's yummy. In what might be one of my favorite, I've had it for a little while now, but one of my favorite Bugs Bunny mugs. One of my favorite mugs in general. Just the many faces of. And I have to admit, one of the faces that I love that you normally can't see on camera is that one there, top middle of the screen pretty much. Because it just reminds me of, that's probably where they got it from, the cartoon where he drinks the potion. And he's like, gah, gah, gah. Just tickles me. Can AI do that? I think not. I'm real. And I keep mentioning that because I keep having friends that are like, every day I'm seeing AI slop stuff come their way, and they're just like, I'm so sick of it, I'm so sick of it. I'm real. I'm my own brand of psychotic, but I'm real. But yeah, so this is where a lot of guardians get in trouble because they get control of the ward's assets and they start doing like crazy stuff with it. Because my priority one is to make sure that my dad is taken care of and make sure that I'm taking care of his resources, which I'm doing. My only real concern is I was still taking care of stuff that DCF and the state of Florida was telling me initially was kind of the whole reason that my mom was probably going to have charges brought against her, and my dad couldn't be here by himself unsupervised, the safety and health issues. I was still taking care of those things, when, according to my lawyer, technically I shouldn't have, because I was using my ward's money without permission from the court. It's like, well, but other agencies of the state were telling me to fix this, so... But hopefully it shouldn't be an issue. I've got receipts for all of it. It's more a matter of the judge looking at it and going, okay, don't do that again. Yeah, I'll sign off on it because you took care of safety and health issues. But now ask permission, But I am, not going to lie, I am like that little bit nervous about just the idea of, you used his money without permission. yeah, I used his money without permission that I didn't know I needed to get to fix problems that they created, that were safety and health issues that I thought I was supposed to be handling. And up until, you know, 3.5 hours before that, I was supposed to be handling it because I was being told, fix it. So, yeah, yeah, exactly. Thanks, Tanner. Tanner helping me out there, taking over for Zybot. Um, got a couple packages coming in today, nothing crazy. Pix and I have had quite a few sales on eBay, which is nice. I've sold another Doctor Who lot. She sold a Pixar mini cars. Pixar had done like a little mini, like Micro Machine mini cars, adventure sets and whatnot. Came with like 2 cars and like an accessory and stuff like that. But she sold a pack of those. And a Marvel hardcover. We got in. This is something Diamond did. Take you behind the curtain. I don't know, it was probably a year, maybe 2 years before we ended our contract with Diamond, and things went sideways quick. My problems with Diamond were not why I closed the business. I closed the business because we lost our property. The owners of it sold the building, and we weren't on the new floor plan. It was like one of those 6-unit strip malls, you know, and the building got bought, and I think it's like a Bravo now, which is, if you're not local, Bravo down here in Florida is like it's a supermarket that tends to lean more towards a Latin clientele. A lot of their ads are in Spanish. They carry a lot of foods and whatnot that are more what us white folk would call like ethnic food, or, you know, Latin food. For them it's food, you know, culturally. But I think it's a Bravo now. That's what I was told. I haven't been back, honestly. It's a 1-hour drive. It's 50 miles, so. And I have a feeling I'd probably pull in the parking lot and cry. You know, when your playground gets torn down and turned into an apartment building, it's like, you know, I used to play here, you know. I performed right here where the deli is, you know. You know, and a lot of memories, and good and bad. I'm just thinking about Rusty for a second there. We had a performer actually die on stage. He had an aortic rupture during a Halloween performance. It was October 26th. He's a good guy. And no, I'm not kidding. Paramedics came, pulled him out. He was the Herschel to my Rick. He was the guy that I went to for sage wisdom advice. And we were in like casting pre-production for Rocky, and he had told me he's a huge Rocky Horror fan. He's a few years older than me. He'd be in his 60s now. Huge Rocky Horror fan. He was a firefighter and then a fire marshal, fire inspector. Had a lot of health issues because of breathing in stupid shit for years. Overweight, walked with a cane, had, you know, some health issues. But he had done a lot of performing when he was younger. And when he became a dad, because one of his kids was one of my kids, and there was honestly one or two of the others that were considering and or kind of hanging out at the shack. And he got involved because he was concerned that, you know, his kids were hanging out there and he wanted to know what the hell was going on. He saw what we were doing and he was like, you know, retired at that point. He's like, can I play? Because he had done a lot of performing when he was younger, but when he became a dad, he stopped all that. And he came to me because he knew we were getting ready to start casting for Rocky Horror, and he's like, you know, if this were 20 years ago, he's like, I'd love to be a part of this, but, you know, held up the cane. He's like, my dancing days are over. I can still sing. And he had done some improv shows with us. He was unafraid. He's like, you know, I'm fearless on stage, but it's a musical, it's Rocky Horror. There's not, you know, my days of jumping to the left are kind of past me, I think. And normally I don't do like pre-casting, you know what I mean? You audition and we go from there. But on this one, as director producer, I'm like, you know what? Would you be our narrator? And he was like, wait, what? I'm like, you can put on a tweed jacket and get all kinds of posh. The cane works with it. And the narrator role, sadly, you're not really singing. Great tenor voice, great tenor. It's like, you know, but you're going to be speaking, and you can do the like English polish with the role if you want to play it that way. You know, go full, you know, old school Harvard professor with it, tweed with the, you know, the patches on the elbows. And he was like, I would love to be the narrator. I could do that too. He's like, it's not real physical. I could get away with that. I'm like, yeah. And then he died like 2 days later. True story. So that was actually one of the reasons that I was pushing to do Rocky Horror so bad. It was kind of a personal dedication to him. I don't even know if I put anything in the program about it, but for me, it's twofold for me. One, I wanted to prove to my girl that I could do it based on her history with her Uncle Richard. And two, we were doing Rocky Horror for Rusty. We were doing the damn show. My honor code, sense of duty, whatever you want to call it, may be a little odd for some. And that's fine. It's not yours, so you don't have to worry about it. You know? But he was excited about us doing the show, and he was even more excited about being a part of it. So I was doing the goddamn show. And it was the last formal show we did before we had to close. We did like one or two improv shows after, but we were, there was about a month period where I was squatting, actually. Sleeping there every day, had an armchair there, that was my bed, while we tried to find a new location to get the hell out of there, but just couldn't do it. Found a couple places that might have been viable, but it would have cost us like $4,000 or $6,000 down, and almost immediately another $2,000 or $3,000. Didn't have it. So, tried so hard. God closed the door. Okay, what next? you know? Took a while to get over that. Hell, to be honest, I don't even know if I'm still over it. Because I miss it. Miss it so much. That was like 9 years ago. I see my kids on Facebook. The place was called the Comic Shack. And people that frequented there, the term shackleite had been coined rather. So if you went to our place, you were a shackleite. Um, Play on words there. And so I see people, shackleites, and I see that some have passed, which breaks my heart. And some of them have gone off to college, gotten married. And I couldn't be prouder. Down deep, I wish I were still doing it. You know? If nothing else, I know that I was making a difference. It was very fulfilling, and I was having a great time doing it. You know? But we're off to the next mission. This is one that I didn't ask for that one, really. I was going to say, this is one I didn't ask for. I didn't really ask for that one either. We took over a business. My buddy was told that he had to close it. His wife was like, no, absolutely not. So my wife and I took over with $1,000 worth of inventory and ambition. That was what we had going into it. And we actually built something. We grew something. Every year we had at least, I think the lowest year growth we had was like 15%. Like in sales and whatnot. That was the lowest year. It was usually like 20 to 40% growth, which it's not bad for a starting business. I've shown a few economists, accountants, our numbers, and they're like, how the hell did you manage this? And I'm like, I don't know. Wing and a prayer. But it was very fulfilling. I didn't mean to start a cult. But yeah, I'm watching Shacklights lives begin to flourish through the magic of Facebook, and just, I've seen some get punched in the face a few times, and again, I've seen some that have passed, and that, I send notes to some of them here and there. I've lost track of a lot of them, but there's still 20 or 30 that I'm able to kind of keep tabs on. I try and send them notes of encouragement here and there. Got one that's a professor now. I mean, just yeah, cool. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Got a couple that are doing stand-up comedy. One of them's actually touring the world. One of my rentmates. I mean, she was always good, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool watching her career from a distance. Oh, damn good coffee and hot. But one thing I did get the other day, and I was waiting to do this. Hopefully it works. One of the things I got in was a 13th Doctor lot. Jodie Whittaker. Had some figures. I've got a case actually, and it's open now. I opened it, but a case of Jodie Whittaker 5.5 figures. I will show you. I'm not sure about the sculpt. I've already got two Jodies in with different outfits, so I'm good here. Which is good because I don't know that I like the sculpt exactly. But it's a case of 6. There we go. Okay, Janus. Oh, yeah. And I went through, because I got a whole bunch of, like, figures for 13th Doctor. I've got an extra Yaz. So, I already have that one. So, I'm going to be selling one of them. Need more whiskey. I'm kidding. I do have a couple Coronas in the fridge, but I haven't had one of those in like a month. I'm a very heavy drinker, as you can tell. So, this is what a case looks like. Taking away the mysticism. So, okay, so the sculpt is good. Not really knocking. Kind of. Maybe it's more the paint. Tell me what you think. Because it'd be nice for comments. That'd be cool. You can talk to me. I'm not... I've got things going on, so I can't drop everything and catch a flight to Indiana, if you catch my meaning. But I'll converse with you. That's not a problem. Janus, you stuck or you good? You okay? Hey, you alright? Hey. You got it? Okay, buddy, calm down. You okay? Seriously? Yeah, I saw that. Poor guy stretched and got his, because he's only got one arm, basically. Got it stuck on the crate. He's going to be out of there in a couple days. I'll show you what I got going on. Tell me what you think. Maybe it's just the paint, not necessarily the sculpt. Because honestly, she looks good. I think maybe it is just the paint. She looks almost cartoony. This is 720? Toots Toy exclusive. It's got a sticker on it, which makes me think... I don't think it was just made for Toots Toys. There are probably several different companies, several different shops that ordered this one special, and they got like their own sticker on the top. But it's got 720, which I'm not used to that, because it is character options, I'm pretty sure. Then again, maybe I tell a lie. Info at 720life.com. Huh. They're using the same format as like the character options packaging, though. That's interesting. I do not know. Good looking figure. But she just looks... And I don't mean cartoony, but like if they did a more realistic animation. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Oh, it's like, where'd I put the case? And there's 6 in a case, so I may wind up keeping one anyway. But I paid, I think, $33 total for the case, so, even if I sell 5 of them at $10 each, which a 5.5-inch Doctor Who figure that looks pretty good. $10. It's more than reasonable. Um, maybe I'll put one out at the garage sale too and see if I can get 10 for it there. I may do that actually. So I've got a couple bulk things like that still in package that I've actually managed. I've got some like Among Us, like the 4-inch figures, which I love. They have like interchangeable hats and stuff like that. Multiple hands you can switch out. That's going to be one of the things in the display behind me. Once I get this mess straightened out, and I can treat myself to doing this. And I should probably set up a purple latch top. In fact, I know I should with Among Us, based on what I've got floating around here. Note to self. But I may put out, I've had a couple extras of those that I've managed to sell for like $5 at the first garage sale, which I paid like 3 or 4 for them, so a couple bucks, but it's one less thing that we've got to move around, because that's the goal. It's not just making the money, it's also getting rid of stuff, shedding. But I got in a big 13th Doctor lot, and it came with that, like 8 or 9 figures. It was decent haul, good price. I got a good price on it. But one of the things that came, I got a mug too, which I need to wash. 13th Sonic, which I haven't tested yet. I pulled it out of the package. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait. This guy came with a little plastic tube, you know. Ooh, wow. I may actually keep the artwork, because I can use that as a backdrop for diorama stuff. Because that's the, the main console in the control room of the TARDIS forge room. But it's got the little, for your protection. It's got a couple buttons on here, so we're gonna see what it can do. Pull. Please remove this tag prior to play. Now normally what this does, in case you're not privy to or don't understand the science of it, this normally like goes in between the batteries or something like that. In between the batteries, the contacts or whatever. And it's supposed to make sure that the batteries last longer, don't erode, decay, and conserve the batteries so that when you actually do start to play with it, it's not, suddenly, I can't do anything because the batteries are dead. That's not nice. Okay, so it looks like it's got a screw here, and it looks like this piece here most likely comes out, so you can change batteries. I have no idea what it takes, but I'm willing to bet that paper tells me. Uh-oh. Hey, maybe it's been in the warehouse too long. I'm a man, I'm not supposed to have to read the instructions. Okay, so that is a dummy button and does nothing. This is the one that's supposed to actually do stuff. Liar. You go ahead and open up. I need a screwdriver. Nope, we have to use a regular one. Alright. That's disappointing. I need a smallish Phillips. Alright. We have, I believe, 14 of these around the house. These come in a 2-pack with a whole bunch of bits and whatnot. They take a standard like USB charger, USB-B. My dad loves these and kept buying them because the burglar kept taking them, which is why we actually have 2 of the 2-packs unopened, which we're certain are ones that Dad got as replacements for ones that the burglar took. If you get where I'm going with this. Mind you, these are great. But it is infuriating because, and I got a few of those phone calls, a year ago. Burglar took my drills again. I can't get anything done. We found them all, Nope, too big. That's fine. It's one thing about being in the house of an engineer, even despite the insanity, lots of tools running around. But again, if you were to ask him, they all got stolen. There we go. The whole thing starts with a little glass vial. Surgery. That's why my brain went there. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's fine. This is not made from Sheffield steel. There we go. Ah. Okay. Ooh. They were in there too long. Got corrosion. I don't know if you can see that. That white, that should be silver. They actually did corrode. Damn it, man. AG10s. What are you needing? Replacing the batteries. It seems they thought of that. Yeah. AG13, LR44s, which I do not think you are. No, you're not. second. Alright, I'm going to have to get with my girl. Just went into Dad's office and there was a battery box in there. The battery box is empty, so I don't know. Hopefully they were not packed to be put in the workshop, because that's a functional piece of gear that we kind of need around here. Hopefully people had the good sense to not do that. That will make me cry, just because, what are you doing? I packed up all the tools, you know. No, we need the tools handy. What are you doing? So I'm going to have to figure that out. Because I'm at least going to pull the batteries so they can do no additional harm. Because they can, and I'm not trying to mansplain, but I know there are probably some people that aren't going to necessarily understand this. Corroded batteries can get corrosion onto the contacts and make it harder to get contact, and you have to clean them, and it's a real pain in the bahunkas. So I'm going to pop those out. Yeah, we can do that. That'll work. Oh, shit. Do not drip corrosion in coffee. Good safety tip. You can see that like salty looking stuff on there. They're not too far gone, but they were starting to be a bad idea. Doesn't look like it bled onto the contact, which is good. That still looks pretty clean. I'll hit it with like an alcohol wipe or whatnot, just to make sure. Just dip it in there. Alcohol is great for this, rubbing alcohol, not like bourbon. Although, single malt. But alcohol does a really good job of cleaning contacts, and at the same time, it dissipates, like atmospheric, it like goes away, so you don't have to worry about extra liquid residue on said device. It's kind of a life hack kind of thing. Rubbing alcohol is great for that. Helps with corrosion and doesn't add water damage to whatever you're trying to clean. Yeah, minor on the top and bottom contact. The middle one seems to be pretty much spared, which makes sense because the middle battery doesn't look like it's got as much corrosion going on. That was the least screwed up. So I need to get some button batteries. I'm going to get with Tiny. Tiny may know where. Because, again, burglar kept stealing batteries, so Dad kept getting more batteries. We've got, just to put it in, like, pop culture reference, probably 6 to 10 bread boxes. A bread box is a box that basically holds a loaf of bread, so figure that's maybe old school. I'm saying pop culture, and that's actually like an older term. Shame on me. But hey, I'm 54, so what do you want? 6 to 10 loaves of bread, volume-wise, of batteries. What size do you want? We are lean on 9 volts. We've only got like 4, maybe 10 of those. But AA, AAA, DCs. We've got probably a couple hundred AA's and AAA's. Pretty easily. Because my dad would buy a 16-pack or a 24-pack, and then 2 days later would either contact me or Chuck the Wonder Idiot and say, "The burglar got my batteries," and he'd go down to Lowe's or Walmart or something like that and buy another pack, which would get stolen in a day or two. Rinse, repeat, you get the idea. So at the end of the day, once the madness is not here anymore, oh God, there are batteries. Which is a great problem to have, except they're everywhere. I just found last night doing the garage, I found a stack of, I think like 12 or 15 double A's just randomly in a box. Don't know if they work or not. We need to test them, but just why? Oh. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign up here. I'm hitting 40 minutes. I'm trying not to do, 3-hour videos. All right. I'm gonna put this together loosely. See if Tiny's DMing today, so I'm not certain availability, but I'm at least gonna poke my head in and say, hey, I need 3 button batteries. Yeah. So then I'm gonna get to work. My next video, maybe I'll do one later on tonight. I don't know, but I wanted to show you what progress, and I'll make more progress in the garage because. Anyway, one break, right? Make it a great day.